Hi, this is Zoyi 778 coming at you, and today on the channel we got episode number 2 of the super tight budget multimeter series. And today we are going to be showing a Zoyi ZT-C4. But before we get into that, I want to I neglected to do this in the previous video, so we're going to do it right now, as to what my criterion is for the super tight budget multimeter series. So we're going to go over that real quick here. First and foremost, it has to be available at Amazon.com. Secondly, the price has to be $14.99 or less. You can convert that if you're in a different country to your appropriate currency. The condition must be new. Preferred shipping method would either be by Amazon Prime or free shipping, doesn't matter which. The DMM features must have all the basic functions, including AC/DC voltage, AC/DC current, resistance, continuity buzzer, diodes, and capacitance. Also, must have a stand. Also, must have a digital display. I think that kind of goes without saying. Preferably, it is an auto-ranging multimeter, and the reason why I included this in the criterion is because almost all sub $15 manual ranging DMMs are Syntec clones that will not measure capacitance. Must have leads that are not permanently attached. And lastly, any model considered must have little or no fanfare on YouTube. I am not reviewing stuff that is sold by multiple companies that have tons and tons of reviews already. It is, quite frankly, a waste of my time. So there will be some overlap, I understand this, but I am trying to minimize this as much as possible. Okay, and now on to today's candidate on the super tight budget multimeter series. Once again, this is a Zoyi ZT-C4. This is available at Amazon for a whopping $8.59. So this is the cheapest multimeter I've reviewed yet. It is sold by the Hitachi store on Amazon, but it is not branded as a Hitachi. I think I may be butchering that pronunciation, hopefully not. Okay, so anyway, let's get to the unboxing of this. As you can see, it's got a nice pretty box, pretty pictures on the front and the back. Not really much to this box, so let's just go ahead and unbox this and let's see what we get inside. Now, first of all, we get a set of AA batteries. Get some leads. A pair of thermal probes. Okay. Also get a manual. I'm going to show you the specs on this real quick. Not a whole lot to this. I'm going to hold this up as close as I can. There you go. There are the specs on it. Hopefully that's focusing. And last but not least, we get the multimeter. And there she is in all her glory. And I tell you what, the first thing that jumps out is this thing is tiny. Look at this. It literally fits in the palm of my hand. That's crazy. Okay, and now for an overview of this unit. As you can see, we have an LCD display. This is a 4,000 count digital multimeter. We've got a select and a 0 button. I think the 0 button works on the capacitance setting only. Not 100% sure about that. The manual is not very descriptive about that. We've got a hold and a backlight button. And then, of course, let's go ahead and turn this on. So the modes you get, in fact, let's turn that on and get that backlight on. Okay, so you get DC and AC voltage, DC and AC millivoltage, and also get on the AC, this does read frequency. We get resistance, continuity / diodes, and capacitance. Okay. We also have our temperature that it's available in centigrade and Fahrenheit. Okay. Next up we have a non-contact voltage mode, AC and DC current, and AC and DC milliamps. So amps and milliamps. There is no microamps on this particular unit. As you can see, this backlight stays on for quite a long time. In fact, it stays on for 2 minutes, so it's virtually an always on, I guess. Okay, so anyway, that's the unit, and the numbers are actually quite big, which helps with the unit this small. Down below here, of course, we've got our common jack. We've got this is billed as a 600 volt category 2. Okay, well that's a little bit more honest. I don't know if it's really 600 volt. I'm guessing it's probably more like 250. Fused to 500 milliamp, you know, and the jack that has, you know, all the readings, you know, diodes, continuity, resistance, milliamps, and then of course this side you have the 10 amp jack, which is also fused. Doesn't show a time limit or anything like that. And that's basically it. So let's go ahead and show the battery compartment here. It is on the back, and this, you know, we do have a little stand. It's flimsy. What can I say? Let me get a little screwdriver out here and get this opened up. And that comes right off. This is one of these two-piece stands. As you can see, I've already put some batteries in it, but we're going to take those out. Oh, and it does have a brass screw insert here. So we're going to take these batteries out, and then we're going to take, ooh, hello. And then we're going to take this condom off. Let's see how hard this is to get off. I have not tried this yet. So we can do the tear down. Oh boy, this is going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to need to do this off camera. Okay, we got her off of there, and all I can say is, wow, if you ever have to take this down, the easiest way is actually to pry these front grooves out first, and it'll come out that way. Trying to remove it from the back is basically impossible. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. Let's see what we get here. Okay, we're getting it now. So yeah, there's only 2 screws on this here on the base. There's one here and another one here, which I'm working out now. This thing is already trying to come apart with it, so let me see if it, yeah, it's just gonna. Got some tabs in front. Okay, so that came apart rather easily. Wow, this thing is so little. All right, let's get a close-up set up for this. Okay, and here we go with the PCB Closeup. This thing is so small. I just can't get over that. Okay, it looks like we got the regular split variety type connectors here. Teeny tiny, minuscule little fuses. Trying to see, yeah, 250 volts. Looks, yeah, 250 volts on both of them. So yeah, this is category 2, 250 volt. A single PTC here. You do get a current shunt, and for something this small, that's actually a fairly respectable size. Looks like up here we got a couple of resistors in series, and some more over here on this side. This might be a MOV resistor. It's hard to tell what that is. Anyway, got some, looks like some more resistors and capacitors up here. I mean, this is really, really small. It actually does have a calibration ports right here. Here's your speaker. Here's the, this does have a flashlight. I forgot to mention that earlier. It does have a flashlight. Yeah, it's got a flashlight in it. We'll have to figure out how to turn that on, I guess. Here's your processor right here. Your battery contacts are right here. Looks like this is version 0.2, and it looks like it was made in, looks like the October 18th, 2019 maybe. Okay. That's really about it. And I would say this is probably the NCV antenna right here. One of these wires right here. And the controller for the LCD, it's either like incorporated into the processor maybe, or it's on the other side, and I'm not going to go any further inside of this. Anyway, very, very simple design. All right, here we go. Got it put back together. This condom actually goes on a lot easier than it comes off. All right, we're going to de-virginize real quick. And there we go. Beautiful. One other thing to show you. I figured out the flashlight. It's actually, when you have the backlight on, you know, here's the flashlight right here. There is no separate control for the flashlight. You basically turn that on and you get the flashlight. So there you go. Okay, here we go with the DMM Check Plus tests. Let's go ahead and get this backlight on here. We're going to start off with DC voltage, and this should be 5.000 volts. And we are getting 5.01. All right, let's go to AC. And on AC, it should be 4.999 volts, and we are getting 4.99 volts. So to the best of its ability, it is measuring it correctly. All right, let's go ahead and check the hertz. We're not going to get a duty cycle reading on this. The hertz should be 100.009228 hertz, and it is reading it as 99.9. So that is respectable. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and switch over to. Let's go ahead and do the current here. I'm going to put this in milliamps. Let's see what we get here. We're going to start off with DC again. And this is supposed to be 0.9996 milliamps, and we are getting 0.99. Not bad. Can't do this in microamps, so we're kind of stuck there. All right, let's switch over to AC. AC is supposed to be 1.001 milliamps, and we are reading it as 0.99 milliamps. So again, not too shabby. All right. All right, let's go ahead and do the resistors. I'm going to start off with the 99.99 ohm. And it is reading it as 99.8 ohms. Okay, not too shabby. Next up is the 1.0005 kilo ohm. See how close we can get this one. And it looks like it is 9.97 kilo ohms. Not bad. Not bad. Okay. Next up we got 10 kilo ohms. This should be 10.0044 kilo ohms. And we've got, again, 9.97 kilo ohms. This is kind of looking like what the Tills wall was doing. All right. Last but not least, 100 kilo ohm. And we're going to get should get 100.064 kilo ohms, and we are getting, again, 99.8 kilo ohms. So all in all, not bad. All right, let's go ahead and switch over to the caps. Okay, and let's see. Now that's actually diodes, so I don't want that. There we go. Now this does have a 0 function, so we're going to put the 0 on just to see how close we can get. It doesn't really give any indication, but that's got to be what that is. All right, so we're going to start off with the 992 picofarad. Let's see if this can even measure this. And it is measuring it as 970 picofarads, so that's not bad. Okay. All right. Next up is the 10.07 nanofarad. And it is reading it as 10.01 nanofarads. Again, for such a cheap meter, this meter costs $8.59. Not bad. All right. Next up is 100.6 nanofarads. We are getting 100.6 nanofarads. It's right on the money on that one. Oh, wow. Okay. Wasn't expecting to see that. Last but not least, we have a 1.007 microfarads. This is the hard one for the regular multimeters. And again, it's slightly off, about 1.028. I think that has to do with the measuring frequency. Anyway, all in all, in the DMM Check Plus, it did not do bad. Okay, next up we're going to do the current test with the Fnirsi SG-003A. We're going to start it off with 4 milliamps. This is, of course, DC millivoltage. And we get 4 milliamps even. Not bad. All right, let's go to 7. Oops. Okay, and it is reading it as 7 milliamps even. Slightly low, but not bad. There's 10. Okay, 10.02. All right, yeah, that's starting to look more like it should. All right, let's go to 15. 15.02. Again, pretty decent. Last but not least, let's go up to the full 20. And we are getting 20.03 milliamps. So on current, DC current anyway, this actually does pretty well. Okay, here we go with the DC voltage test on the AD584M, the analog devices. We're going to start off at 2.5 volts, and of course I've got my reference meter patched in as always, so let's see what we get here. And the UNI-T is reading it as 2.5007, 006 as normal, and the, let's get that moved over, yeah, there we go. Get that a little bit more in the picture. The Zoyi is reading it as 2.51, which is a little bit off, but we'll get to that. This thing is not the greatest on voltage. Okay, here's 5 volts. Again, as you can see, that error margin is increasing, unfortunately. 5.02, and of course the UNI-T is reading it like it should be. All right, let's go to 7.5. Again, margin of error is continuing to increase as we get 7.53 on the Zoyi and 7.502, which is normal on the UNI-T. And on 10 volts, 10.007 as usual on the UNI-T and 10.03 on the Zoyi. All right, so let's go ahead and go to the power supply to do the 32 volt test. And we are getting, I've had this on for a while, which is why we're getting a slightly higher voltage, but 32.014 on the UNI-T with the high voltage indicator. And on the Zoyi, as you can see, it is reading it as 32.12, which is about, going by that reading, it's about 105 millivolts too high. Okay, here we go on with the continuity test. First up are going to be the stock leads, so let's give them a shot, see what happens. I'm just going to wing it and see what we can do here. Yeah, the resistance is all over the place. Getting a double beep a lot of the time. Ah, there we go. With a solid connection, it's going down to 0.2 ohms, 0.1. Okay. These aren't bad. I don't really like the plasticky stuff that was trying to, you know, trying to fold back up. So anyway, they're the stock leads. So yeah, it's usable. As you can see, these folded back up almost immediately. Look at that. Okay, and now here we go with the probe masters. Let's see how these do. Zeroes out completely as usual. Yeah, they're just fine, as always. All right, let's go ahead and try the resistance substitution box here. Probably going to get the customary. We're going to see if that zero works. I don't think it will, but we'll try it anyway. Yeah, it just switched it over, so I guess that only works for capacitance. All right, let's get that backlight on. All right, let's try 1 ohm. Okay, that's about right. 10. Yep. 100. Pretty good. 1K. Good. 10K, that's good. 100K. Right on. 1 meg. Just about right on. 2 meg. Pretty good. 4 meg. Just about where everybody else reads it. Okay, let's go to 10. Slightly low, but not bad. Okay, let's go to 11. And it is reading it as 10.95. Again, slightly low, but not bad at all. Okay. I'd say this is actually pretty decent on resistance. No complaints from me on that. Let's go to the caps. I guess we're going to do diodes last. Skipped over that. All right, so let's go ahead and get this set where it should be. Let's get this into capacitance mode. Definitely going to use that zero out feature because it seemed to help it on the DMM Check Plus. So let's go ahead and get these hooked up. Okay, solid. All right, we are getting a reading at 100 picofarads. It's a little bit low, but we are getting a reader. Let's take the zero off. Let's see if that does make a difference. No. Okay. Oh, it did. Okay, so that zero. All right, so it does zero on capacitance. All right, we're going to have to reset that, obviously. You know, it's going to drop down to -90, but that's good to know. Okay, let's continue on here. Well, let's zero it first. Okay, yep, about the same. All right, let's go to 150 picofarads. Actually, this one is a little bit high, so it's measuring it a little bit low, but not bad. Here's 220, low, 330, again low, 470, low, 560, yeah, still kind of low, 680, yeah, that's low. Not terribly low. Okay, 820, yeah, that's low. 1 nanofarad, that's actually good. 1.5, low as expected, so that's good. 2.2, yeah, that's good. 3.3, low as expected, a little bit lower than it should be, but that's all right. 4.7 on the higher side here, right on the money, okay? 0.56 should be low, and it is. 6.8, low, and it is. A little bit too low, but that's all right. 8.2, that's about right on. Should usually hits right at about 8.0, so that's good. 10 nanofarads, right on. Oops, went one too far. 15, a little bit high, and it is. 21, 22, right on the money. 33, high as expected. 47, this should be about 49. Yeah, that's good. 56 should be low, and it is. Just about right. 68 should be low, and it is. Yep, falls right around the 64 range, and then this should be about 102, 103 nanofarads, and we are getting 103.6. So not bad. I would say that this is probably usable down to 1 nanofarad. Not too bad for a sub $9 multimeter. I'll take that and run. All right, let's do some bigger capacitors here. Let's see if it'll measure the 22 puff. You know, this is just basically just for giggles and grins. I don't think it's going to be able to do it. Let's see what it does. It's actually trying to read it. Yeah, not bad. The 85 should read this one just fine, the 85 nanofarad. Yeah, that's good. Okay, here's 1 millifarad. Yeah, we're good there. 10 millifarads. Oh, I'm sorry, 10 microfarads. And previously that was 1 microfarads. I always get all that mixed up. Okay, 10 microfarads. Yeah, we're good there. All right, let's try the 47. This should be more like 44 microfarads, and we are getting 45. Not bad. Okay, 100 microfarads. Getting the slower as we're getting higher. Yeah, 101.2 microfarads, that's fine. All right, let's go to the 1 millifarad. There, I can finally say milla. Milla. Hopefully I got these on here. I do. 947 microfarads, that's just about right. Okay, let's go to the 2200. There, finally got it to work. And it slipped on me. Hopefully it didn't slip off. 21.15. Man, that's about right on there. No complaints from me on that. I think the upper limit on this is 4 millifarads, but we're going to try the big one anyway. I don't think this is going to work, but let's give it a shot. Let's see what happens. It's trying. Yeah, over limit. That's what I figured. All right, let's go over to diodes. Okay, we're going to start with the lights, the LED test. First up, we get red with the reading. Okay, yellow, dim with the reading. All right, green, lights it up but no reading. Okay, blue, nothing. White, nothing. All right, let's go to the RGB. Does light up red with reading. We get green, no reading, and nothing on the blue. Okay, let's go over to the diodes here. Rectifier, .522. Okay, a little bit low, but not too bad. Fast recovery. .489, again a little bit low but not terrible. All right, here's the Schottky. .183, that's right in the ballpark. Switching. .582, a little bit low but again not terrible. It's definitely better than the O1 was. And last but not least the germanium, and on the germanium we're getting .265, so again a little bit low but it's not horrible. Okay, so pretty good on the diodes. Let's get a quick reading on the UNI-T. Gonna have to turn it over a little bit so we can see it. There we go. Let's see what we get on this UNI-T here. On the voltage. And it's obviously not putting out that much, but we'll see what it's doing. 2.27 volts. Okay, all right. So there you go. Okay, here we go with the AC voltage test. I go ahead and got this set up, so let's go ahead and jab these in here and see what we get. And we are reading it as 122 volts even. Let's go to the frequency. And it is reading it as 59.9 hertz, so yeah, no problems there. Looks good. All right, next up we're going to do the NCV test. Let me get these probes out. This does not have a live function. So let's get that switched over. And again, Jose, I'm sorry, but the NCV is in a position that I know you do not like. All right, let's see how this does. Well, I would say it's okay, the sensitivity. Let's try the LED light overhead. Yeah, it's having trouble reading that. So yeah, I would call that below average. All right, well, it is what it is. Okay, next up, let's go ahead and do the thermal probes. Let me get these patched in here real quick. And let me get this little thing sticking out so we don't like burn it all to crap. That'll work. Okay. So let's get this into Fahrenheit because I'm an American and we still love our English system. Okay, well, I can tell you right now, well, that might have been my heat. Let's give this a second. Temperature in here is 75.6 degrees. It's dropping. So, yeah, it's okay. Actually, well, okay, so that's a little bit off. It only dropped down to 78. All right, whatever. All right, let's do the body heat test. Reacts pretty quickly. And it should get up into the low 90s because I'm kind of cold-blooded. And yeah, it's getting about to where everything else is, so that's good. All right, let's do the fire test. I want to make sure that this is not, I don't want to burn those things, so let's do the fire test here. Oh yeah, no problem. So I would say that works just fine. Okay, here we go with the frequency test. Now basically, according to the manual, this thing has a range of 4 Hertz all the way up to 10 megahertz, so we're going to give it a shot and see what happens here. Got my tone generator set up for voltage amplitude of 2.5. So let's see what happens here. Let me get the backlight on. We're going to start at 1 Hertz and work our way up. Okay, here we go. This is 1 Hertz. And it is actually reading it. Okay, cool. All right, let's go to 10 Hertz. Let's say we're good there. All right, let's go to 100. Okay, we're good there. Can't check duty cycle on this, so we're not going to bother. Here's 1K. Looking good there. Been off by just 1 digit so far. All right, here's 10K. And we are getting 9.99. Yeah, lots of 9s. Okay, here's 100K. Oh, we lost it. Okay, so maybe it was 10K. Well, let me try pushing up the voltage and see what we get, if anything. Put it up to 5 here. Okay, it's reading it again. All right, so we got 100K. All right, let's continue on. Let's go to, well, we'll try 500K. Okay, it's reading that. Yep, 499 basically. All right, let's go to 1 meg. Okay, it's reading 1 meg, sagging a little bit. Okay, let's try 2 meg. Okay, it's reading that. Again, error margin is starting to increase. 3. Okay, it's holding the same. Let's go to 5. Got back up there. Okay, let's try 10. And we got 9.98 megahertz there, so not bad. All right, let's go to 15. It is reading 15 as 14.98. But yeah, we're going to lose this pretty soon. Let's try 20. Okay. Yeah, I'd have to give that a pass. All right, let's try 25. All right, getting 24.97 megahertz there, so not bad. All right, let's try 30. Why not? Wow. Yeah, 29.97 megahertz. Okay, well, let's go to 40. Lost it. Okay. All right, let's drop back to 35. Yeah, still nothing. Trying to read it, yeah. All right, let's try, let's put it back on 30. Okay, works there. 31. Yep, working there. 32, working there. 33. So we lose this at 32 megahertz. So yeah, this thing works well out of spec. I'd say this thing's pretty decent on reading frequency. Okay, and here we go with the pros and the cons of this multimeter. First, the pros. Surprisingly accurate on most measurements. Was not expecting that, quite simply. It's easy to use and easy to figure out. I really didn't have to refer to the manual that much. That's always nice. The backlight stays on for 2 minutes. Wow. Why can't all multimeters have a backlight that stays on for at least 2 minutes? This is a $9 multimeter, folks. Come on. Just saying. It is extremely compact. You can take this thing anywhere and stick it in pretty much any pocket. And, of course, goes without saying that this is a very affordable multimeter. And the display is actually quite nice, you know, with the numbers, too. I actually found this fairly aesthetically pleasing. You know, it's got nice big numbers for such a small unit. On to the cons. The leads are kind of short and the PVC on them isn't very good. They tend to want to fold out and then fold back in. They can't make up their mind what they want to do. You might be better served getting a longer pair of leads for this. Another thing that I don't like, of course, is the voltage readings have increasingly wider error margin with higher voltages. That's a real shame considering how accurate this was otherwise. It gets a little bit slow on the higher value capacitors, which is to be expected, and to a lesser extent the resistors. The diode readings tend to be a little bit low, not bad. It still outperformed the O1 XDM 1041. And all I can say is, you know, shame on you, O1. The output voltage is only 2.27 volts. Obviously, that's, you know, going to limit you with testing LEDs. You can do the reds, greens, and the yellows, and that's going to be it. And the stand is pretty flimsy, but in all honesty, it's still not as bad as the NQ10s, which still has the all-time worst stand on this channel. It's just a step above it. But yeah, it's not very good. Be careful with it. You can probably very easily snap it off. And that brings me to the conclusion. The Zoyi ZT-C4 is a decent meter with surprising accuracy on most readings and has all the basic measurement types needed in an electronics bench meter for under $9. This meter would be suitable for use in an electronics bench and or in the role of a household DMM. This also would be a great on-the-go DMM since it's tiny and takes up very, very little space. I mean, you can stick it anywhere. It's not a good choice for measuring higher voltages as the error margin on readings increases as the voltage increases. But it would be okay for work with lower voltages, say 15 to 20 volts. This is basically a good choice for someone on a very tight budget who has the need for a decent all-around super compact meter. This thing definitely exceeded my expectations and I definitely recommend this and I definitely give this a thumbs up. So that's going to do it for now. Thanks for watching the video and we'll catch you on the next one. This is Zoyi 778. Catch you later.